Hey everybody, it's Tara Bryan, and you are listening to the Course Building Secrets Podcast. Hello everybody! So in today's episode, I want to address whether or not you're asking the right questions. So I love this topic because I am just going to tell you, for the longest time, I don't think that I'm asking the right questions. And so I thought this would be a good tip for today is when you are sort of thinking about what you're packaging and how you're doing it. What's interesting is, as an expert, it's sometimes easier to figure out what's the path that you're going to take someone on to get them a result, right? So we work really hard on that. However, when you are working on selling your program, there's really a different way of thinking about how to start engaging and attracting your people. And I think this is something that I just have recently figured out as you start looking at, so there are basically 3 different types of traffic that you're going to deal with when you are trying to attract people to you. You have hot traffic, which are the people that already are in your world and they know that you're the best person to help them. You have warm traffic, which means they're aware that they have a problem. They know that they want to fix it. They're just not exactly sure you're the person, right? Like, they either don't know about you yet, or they're not quite 100% convinced, like your hot traffic people, that you are the right person, right? So you have to work on, sharing with them why you're the right person, right? More than anything else. But then you have your cold traffic, and your cold traffic is, they may not be aware that there's a solution to their problem, right? Like, they have a challenge or a problem. They may not be aware that there's a solution for it or what the right solution is. And they also don't know or aren't convinced that you're the right person who can help solve that problem for them, right? And so you've got kind of, various battles that you're trying to fight when you're working with cold traffic. So it's a different animal than just talking to the people who already know you and say, hey, I have a new program coming out. Are you interested in being a part of it? Most of the time they're like, yep, I'm in. This is great. This is exactly what I've been looking for. But again, when you're working with those cold people, one, you have to talk to them about what their challenge is. Then they need to know that you have a unique opportunity in terms of how you can help them solve that problem. And then the third is that they need to be convinced or aware that you are the best person to help them. And so the questions that you ask in each one of those as you're trying to attract each type of traffic is different. And here's the thing is that when you're trying to attract that cold audience, the questions need to be more general. They need to be more pain-based and general. Like, have you had this problem? Do you notice that this thing is going on? Do you feel this way? Do you see this happening? Is this something you're experiencing? Those are the questions you're asking your cold audience, because you want them to raise their hand and say, yes, I'm experiencing that. And then they'll get curious to know why you're asking that, right? Do you have something that solves that particular challenge that they have or that particular pain? So the other day I was looking at, something on Facebook, of course, and somebody asked a really general question, like an awareness question around a topic that one of my students has been working on. And I thought it was fascinating because it illustrated this point so well. So my client had a tendency to say, here's a question to this that will address this particular problem, right? Like, do you have this specific problem? Instead of saying, is this something that you're experiencing, right? Do you see this happening in what you're doing? So it's just a little bit of a different nuance, but what it did was it opened up the idea that, oh yeah, I am noticing that. I do see that. Is that not normal? Is that not what everybody else experiences? And so you could see the comments coming in like, yep, nope. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, wait a minute. There's a different way to think about this. That's that opportunity switch that gets them curious about what you have to offer versus being very specific around, do they have this particular problem? And so again, it's really, really important when you are trying to attract that cold audience to really think about more of those awareness type questions versus the problem type questions as um, as you start identifying and attracting your people. So that is my course building tip for the day. Hopefully this is helpful for you. But it's really looking at what are the questions you need to ask for who you're trying to attract. And it's not a one size fits all. If you are successfully converting warm and hot traffic and you're trying to go to a cold traffic strategy, the way that you do it is different. It's not just, take what you're doing and put it out there for a cold audience. It's very, very different. And so that is something that absolutely makes a difference. So hopefully this helps you and gives you at least the ability to start thinking about what are those awareness questions that even just brings up in somebody's mind, to become aware that there may be some other way that people are doing it, right? Like I remember when I first started my agency and I was surrounded by people who had built traditional businesses, right? So I got my MBA. I went to an entrepreneurs organization and other organizations that were very much grounded in you build a traditional brick and mortar business, and that means you're legit, right? Anything outside of that is not legit, and I say it in air quotes. And but I got to a certain level of growth, and it was like, well, wait a minute, like this isn't really serving me. It's getting more complicated. I'm spending more money and more time, and I'm not really seeing the benefits of what I wanted to do. So I started to say, well, this isn't exactly what I thought it was. What should, how can I make a difference? How can I change this to make it something that serves me better? But I didn't know how to do it, right? I didn't know who to go to. I didn't know that there was another way to think about it. And I certainly didn't know how to solve that particular challenge at the time that I had started this. And so those kinds of awareness questions, when I started to see them, made me curious. Like, oh, wait, there's another way that I could do this? Or wait, why is this person asking this question? And how are they doing it different? Like, there's a different option. And so that took me on the journey to really find the answer to that question and then become more and more aware of how to solve that particular problem, which made it very then simple when I decided that I found the right person to help me with the right program. It became very simple to make that choice. That's exactly what your customer is doing in their mind as they're going through this journey. So think of the awareness questions. It's actually a good practice for your warm and hot traffic too, but think about those awareness typed questions that don't actually give them the solution, but just sort of help them become aware that there is a potentially a problem and a potentially a different way to solve it. So, all right, there you go. That is my course building secret for today. If you are looking for help with this, or this is sort of something that's gotten you curious, reach out. I'd happy to talk to you about this. Happy to start you really looking at what this could look like in your business. And so, get in touch with me on that. Join our community, kind of really dial in, obviously subscribe to this podcast, and we will talk soon.
Hey everybody, are you a business owner ready to streamline and scale your business? Imagine solving the biggest business challenges with clarity, a strategy, and a clear plan. Hey, I'm Tara Bryan, and I want to invite you to take the first step towards transforming your business with a free 30-minute discovery call. This call is an opportunity to discuss your goals, identify key challenges, and learn how my mentorship program can help you achieve the success you're aiming for. In just a half hour, we'll explore how you can scale your business by enhancing your authority strategy, engagement strategy, and retention strategy. You'll get personalized advice and a clear path forward. Ready to take the first step? Click on the link below that's in the show notes to book your free discovery call now. I hope to talk to you soon.